Well, we are going to show you an amazing first aid kit, an idea of a friend of mine, and it is on wheels in a Coleman cooler with a telescoping handle on the back like a piece of luggage, and inside is all the first aid that you will probably ever need. You'll notice the top has cup holders in case your first aid person is tired, needs that cup of coffee, and you also have a handy tabletop by putting everything on here. I'm just going to quickly show you the top before I go through everything inside. I have organized this top down using fishing tackle boxes, but specific ones I'll tell you about that give more room for our first aid supplies. First of all, on the cover, I'm using sticky Velcro. I've got earplugs individually wrapped in plastic. In the case of nuclear war, the explosion would cause a pressure change which would burst eardrums, is what the literature says. So everybody should be plugging in the same ear at all times. So in our house, we're going to do the left ear, and we're going to leave the right ear exposed. And that way, if we have a burst, we'll know to talk to each other's left ears. And that will help for communication so that we don't have to write everything down to communicate with each other. Water purification tablets, and the spray-on anesthetic Lanacane. And I'm using the sticky Velcro to attach everything. And I've got a red pen and black pen. Normally you use red to document when people have died, and black is for everything else. I might just switch that one out for a regular pen. In here, you'll notice I've got different things, and I'm going to go through these one at a time. I think I'm going to do this video in 2, maybe 3 videos because I don't want to go over 10 minutes for each video. It gets too long. So I'm going to move this over now and start showing you what's inside. First off, I have face masks. And yes, to irrigate larger wounds, I decided to go with this turkey baster. Laugh now, but I don't know. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I won't be able to. Okay, I'm going to set this down. Hope not to make you guys too dizzy. And let's get started with our analysis of what we have. First off, hydrogen peroxide. 3% from the drugstore. Really important. This cleans out even virus and bacteria. So this is really good. I've seen YouTube videos, you might want to look into it, about how to put it in your eardrum or in your ear canal, in your ear canal as a little 5-minute virus killer. Have a look at it, you decide. I've been doing it and I'm okay. I'm also including little cups for giving people maybe pain relieving medications like Tylenol, ibuprofen, that kind of thing. And I do have water in the kit, and I'll show you that also. For the medications, the water that I have in the kit, and I just have 1 bottle, that's all I can fit in the kit because I got lots. But I'm getting this from Baxter. It's sterilized water, and it's just plain water. So this is the one I'll be using for giving medications. They also have an orange top, and this one has got the correct amount of salt. It's 0.9%, so it's less than 1% salt. And this is the body's concentration of salt normally. So what this means is I can irrigate somebody's wound and they won't go into shock because the salt balance is the same as the body's. Now these do have, you pop this out and underneath there is like little holes, and you use it as a squeeze bottle. So you can use it as a little shower over a wound, okay, however you want to use it. They're great. This is a craft box I got. And I'm labeling these in the languages of the people who are on the team. So here you'll see I've got English, Spanish, and French. And so let's have a look in here. And I actually had to go to Bass Pro in the States because I'm in Canada, and in Canada we do not have the higher tech stuff for stopping bleeding. So they sell these on a peg in Bass Pro, and it's called Trauma Pack Quick Clot. This technology will be more advanced than this one, which is readily sold in Canada. This one is using the clay that was common since World War II era, but the problem with the clay is that it breaks off into little pieces of clay, and then you've got to be using up your irrigation water, your precious amount of irrigation water, to clean out the clay, or you've got to go in there with tweezers and get the clay out. So this one I'm going to be leaving for last, frankly, and I wish we would sell something better here. This is called Cheeto Sam Active, and this is, it says it's a 3x6 hemostatic dressing, and it says that it is for temporary external use only to stop bleeding fast. Now, I could see something where, you know, I'm in an earthquake zone. You get somebody with a piece of wood in them or something, and you pull it out, but now you've got to stop the bleeding. You've got to have a pack that takes care of bleeding. So that's what I'm doing with this pack here. And it all fits together snugly and into my first aid kit. Next, I'm going to show you the burns kit. I'm using a craft box. This one has got locking. It's a bit thicker. I'm putting it on the side of my kit, and it is called Recollections is the name of the company. I think they do scrapbooking supplies. It's like a little suitcase. And in here, basically, what I've got is I've got gauze. I've got, now I'm not going to keep these in here because these, you can't tighten over a burn. That's just going to cause a lot of problems. It's going to cause the gauze to stick to the burn. It's going to cause more damage to the person who's burned. So I'm just going to take those out and find another spot for them. I do have some medications that I put in here quickly. I even have a children's ibuprofen in liquid form, and I'll show you the baby stuff that I have for that. I got the specialty scissors. So there's this one here for pulling out the Jello net. And these are impregnated with medicated, what is it called? Petroleum, like, you know, that stuff. And they help healing of burns. And as well as those scissors, I also have the tweezers. Okay. And so I think that's an important kit to have, and to have it separately if you can, for burns. Now the next one, and how are we doing for time here? I can't see the time. 8 minutes, okay. So the Cabela company, C-A-B-E-L-A''S, makes a special fishing tackle box, and this half of it you get to create however you want. So it's got the narrow parts for the fly fishing, and then it leaves you half of it to do what you want. They sell them in packs of 4. I fit all 4 into my Colma, so I recommend that. They've got nice little locking handles. The overlap isn't much, but we're not worried too much as long as it closes. This is not about EMP. This is more about keeping things clean. So in here, what do I want for first examination? Well, I got stickers for the kids to encourage them. I just stuck them on the lid there. I've got Imodium to stop debilitating diarrhea. I've got powdered electrolyte, which is a salt sugar mix, and that one is great for helping people get energy again when they have had diarrhea or vomiting. And I've got these little obstetrical towelettes. They're nice and bigger, and they're good for wiping wiping wounds if you're looking at a wound. These scissors are great. I recommend getting them at a hardware store because they're cheaper than at the medical supply place. And a little baby thermometer. I've got other glass thermometers. I'm not doing anything electronic here because, you know, EMP will go right through a plastic Coleman freezer, and so, you know, you don't want to have anything electronic. Saying that, here I have my battery operated flashlight. I'm hoping that won't get hit, and I also have what they call a moonlight, and I have the batteries for those in another place. I also carry in here the allergy formula for ages 6 and up, in case anybody's having a life-threatening allergic reaction. I have 2 of these little cup eye washes. The U.S. Marines say in their literature to have more than one of what you need. If you have one, you have nothing. If you have 2, you have 1. Things go missing, things get broken. So I consider that I have 1, looking at these 2. I also have some tweezers. If we have an earthquake, you know, you might be getting to have to pull glass out of people's eyeballs and little bits of glass. And so this is going to be highly needed. And then try to throw one if you can that's got a little magnifying glass to help you see the situation a little better. And of course, I'm including examination gloves. For nuclear war, you would want to individually wrap a pair of gloves or each glove in a vacuum seal to protect them against, you know, fallout. This kit is not about that. This kit is just strictly first aid. So that's what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to stop the video at this point and go ahead and look for part 2 of first aid kit. Thanks.